How are you getting on, folks? Look at fairly decent day in Fairy House yesterday. Look at we did the business anyway. That was the main thing. With the 11-1 win in Nap, as well as that, then I got my fifth in a row winning tip for patron that particular day. Obviously, some Chuo won at 5-1. Favor did the business for me today for patron. Tipped it up there last night at 11-8. Ended up winning, I think, at 4-5 or 4-6, whatever it was. But look at we plow on, we keep going. It's a double header tomorrow, so we'll get it over and done with fairly quick. Or as quick as we can anyway. We'll go through Limerick first of all, and then tackle Cheltenham, and hopefully look at we get plenty of fairly nice winners. There is a double figure price in amongst the pack, but I'm not going to tell you exactly where it is. Look at first of all, we may as well cover Cheltenham first. For first race off the 120, I will be going with Lancing Queen at 6-5 for Alan King and just getting it up here now. 130, Alan King and Tom Cannon. It's actually been backed into even money there now, so the money is definitely down for it. I think it looks to be clear cut winner overall in terms of form and everything else like that. It's the only one to win over course, the only one to win over the same distance. That usually is the nail in the coffin when it comes to Cheltenham. Look at unless something comes out of the pack, but I can't imagine it would. Alan King is in great form at the moment. He's putting in some very, very nice winners, both on the flat and over jumps. And I think that Lancing Queen is going to get us off to a fairly nice start tomorrow. 205 is going to be my patron pick of the day, so I won't be covering it. 240 then is going to be the nap of the day for the YouTube picks, and this one I am all about. Sexy Lot at 10-3 for David Pipe and Fergus Gillard. Now this one here is solid as a rock in my personal opinion. When you look at the way this mare runs, she's very much a stayer. More so than anything else. Like the way she stays on, it looks like she wants every yard of 4 miles. She could run completely off the bridle for most of the race, and then in the last furlong or 2 furlongs, she makes up about 30 lengths to get the win. Now they've added cheek pieces on her there the last time, and it looks like it's starting to click and it's starting to get into the swing of things now again. Realistically, I think she is the best of the field here, and she should take plenty of beating, especially back in her own company and everything else like that. I just think she is the class above and should take plenty of stopping. 315, and I will be going with Jubilee Jubilympics. Jubilympics for Emma Lavelle and Tom Bellamy. This one here is 5-1. I hope to God this lad doesn't win, because if he does, I'm going to have to try and say that name again tomorrow. But it was a very, very nice third on the last 2 occasions, and put in a fairly decent couple of efforts the times before that. In the chasing ranks, it's had 2, 4, 5 runs, 1 second once, and third twice. So look at, in terms of consistency, you can't go too far wrong with Jubilympics. I think I got the name right there. Lovely job, Lee. I just think it's a race. It's a sort of a funny race more so than anything else. If the likes of What's the Story, who doesn't like, the form doesn't really look to be too good with his race. Win My Wings, I suppose, look at the experience, doesn't really look great either. Jubilympics, I think if the horse stays this far, is going to be very, very hard to stop. And you could really make a case of a good few of these as well. But I just like the way Jubilympics has been very consistent, it shapes like that this horse is going to appreciate this sort of trip. And I just think 5-1 is a little bit overpriced in my opinion. I think it's definitely well worth considering. Now 350, this one here is definitely going to be another fairly confident pick. I think Flower of Scotland for Sandy Thompson and Ryan Mania. The way it won the last time out looks to be very, very nice and very, very progressive. Everything else like that. Um, like it beat Pink Legend and Dance Idol in Kelso last time out, and realistically, it's meeting the two of them here again there today. I think realistically it should confirm the places. There's nothing really in here that I would imagine that's going to cause much trouble. I think Liberty Bells obviously is definitely a very interesting one, but it's tend to make a few mistakes on its runs, and I just think if it does that here in Cheltenham, there's going to be no hiding places, and it's going to be picked off, and therefore Flower of Scotland is definitely going to be the one that I will be siding with at 11-4. Now 425, and this one here is going to be the next best of the day. Northern Bow, I think it's the only course and distance winner of the field. The only course and distance winner of the field from Michael Scudamore and Brendan Powell. Currently priced at 2-1. I think this one here looks to be fairly nailed on. Generally saves his best for around here. You're nearly guaranteed a great run with him. I think 2-1 is definitely a small bit of value. He's been nibbled at from 9-2 into 5-2, now into 2-1. I think he's definitely going to go a bit shorter than that. I just think overall, if you're going to be going for a horse that's let's just say at some sort of value, I think Northern Bow is one of the best value horses you can get on the cards tomorrow. 5 o'clock then, and I will be siding with, I suppose, the team in form, Dan and Harry Skelton. They haven't let me down there today, and I hope they wouldn't let me down tomorrow. With Signal Point, currently priced at 3-1. Obviously, look at second last time out. The way that Dan and Harry Skelton have been firing in on all cylinders recently, I think that's definitely shown me more so than anything else that they can get a horse ready at least second time out. I'd imagine that this sort of trip, look at it was it's coming from a fame and glory family, and I'd be more inclined to, I suppose, side with them than go against them more so than anything else. I think if this horse here can improve on the run the last day from his Newcastle second, it's going to take some stopping. Realistically, Dan and Harry Skelton, they're a team in flying form, possibly one of the most informed teams over in England at the moment. Like realistically, I think they're going to be a very, very hard setup to beat now tomorrow, and a 3-1 is definitely great value. And moving on to Limerick, the 14-1 is amongst this pack here now, folks. I think it's definitely got a lot to like about it. There's definitely some great value to be had, and I just think if we can get on the right side of a couple of these, which I think we have, it's going to be a very, very profitable day. But look at, first of all, 155. I'm going to be fairly boring with this one here, and I will be siding with Aska Peska for Hamilton and Sean O'Keefe. Currently priced at 6-4. Look at, I know it's a short price, but realistically was second last time out in a fairly decent field. I know there's an awful lot of my fans screaming and shouting about Knight of Malta, who it faces here, but in my opinion, I think Knight of Malta is going to come undone in this sort of ground. I think Knight of Malta wants heavy ground. Dennis Hogan hasn't really been flying of late, and I just think Aska Peska, the way it ran on last month, I think this sort of ground is going to appreciate it a little bit more. It just seemed to, it just seemed to get caught off guard in the heavy ground, and like more realistic now than anything else. I think it's coming in here on a favourites chance, and it should, realistically, it should take all the beating at 6-4 in terms of statistics and everything else like that. But I think in reality as well, I think it's going to be a very, very hard horse to beat. 230 then. Rachel Blackmore and Henry de Bromhead have a fairly short price favourite in here called the Cahill Don, and I will be siding against. I have picked out the 14 to 1 shot, Effernock Manor. Currently priced, like I said, at 14 to 1 for Jared Keane and Ricky Doyle, the man in form. I can honestly say I am all about this lad's chance. When you look at the of 16 that day in Leopardstown in March of the 7th of March 2021, behind Max Domingo, Barbary Master, Take Rango, Brideswell's Lad, Fly Smart, and Shakespeare's World. Now, all of those have put in some very, very decent performances either in the past or since then. Now, last time out, he was third at 25 to 1 behind Cocalino and El Barra. Now, both of those are very, very well thought of and very well considered and everything else like that. And look, I know it was 18 lengths behind that particular day, but this is a much, much weaker contest. I think if there's any horse that's going to trouble the likes of the Cahill Don, I think this lad here is definitely it. I'm really about the breeding. I love the look of the breeding, and I think this sort of drying ground is just going to suit him that little bit better. And if that's the case, we should be on a very, very nice each way bet at 14 to 1. 305 then, the nap of the day for the YouTube. Realistically, I cannot look past One Cool Poet here. When you look at the form this lad has on any sort of ground that's got any sort of good in it, he is sort of flawless, you could say. He put in a very decent performance last time out when he was fourth in a Leopardstown handicap. Now he's meeting an awful lot of a weaker field here now, and he's very, very well treated. Now, the fact that the ground is drying out is going to be a big, big help to this lad, because look at what he did in Galway 2 years ago. And I say this more often than not, you cannot look past One Cool Poet on good ground. Every single time the handicapper got at him, he upped them £3, £4. I think he went up to a mark of £25 higher than what he was at the start of the week on his last day, and he won with relative ease, more so than anything else. This lad here has got a lot to like about him, and I just think for Matthew Smith and Keith Donoghue, I think they found a very nice opportunity for him. I think 6 to 4 is definitely great value. When you look at what he should be, he should realistically be 5 to 6, maybe even 4 to 6 here in this sort of a field. I think he's going to be incredibly hard to stop. He gets £7 from Cotty McAvenny Goal, who did put in a fairly decent performance last time out, but the form hasn't really stood up to the mark. And I just think One Cool Poet has miles too much class about him to be troubled here. 340 then. I am going to be siding with I suppose a YouTube winner for us recently enough with Kate I'll Know here at 3 to 1. Not going to spend too much time about it. I think if the improvement comes for this horse, like it's shown the last day, in Clonmel on soft ground, I think it's going to be, like, realistically, it should be miles too good. Rock on Shamey, I would be worried about the fact that the ground is drying out a little bit more. Put in a decent enough third last time out, but realistically, Kate I'll Know is definitely very, very interesting coming in here. There's an awful lot more progression in her, I think. The way when you look at the way that she just pricked her ears coming around the last bend in Clonmel, like that was the nail in the coffin for me, and that's why this horse is going to be a bit of a cliff horse for me now anymore. Just the way she just pricked her ears, kicked on, and when they started to close up on her then again, just trying to replay the race in my mind again, they closed up on her then again coming over the last, and she pricked the ears again and she started kicking on again. She's a bit of a lunatic, this one, but she's a very, very honest lunatic, and that's the one good thing I like about a horse, and it's a great sign of a good horse when they start pricking their ears like that. When the pack starts closing in, you know that you're going to be on a good one, and you know that you really have a very, very talented horse, and a very clever horse at that as well. I think 3 to 1 is great value. I'm not going to say it's going to be a winner here, but I think if it can progress any further than it already has done, like it did for the win in Clonmel, I think it's just going to be that little bit too good. Now, moving on then to the 4:15, and we're going to go not straight from the nap to the next best, but close enough. I would love to see the Trigger put in a great performance at 7-1, but I think he's got a lot to beat with Low Light of Fields at 9-4. Look, coming in here, the fact that it's coming in here on the back of a hat trick, or in search of a hat trick more so than the back of a hat trick. I think it will. I think it will get the hat trick by, let's just say, 20-4 tomorrow. I think this horse is just miles too good. Like, we talk about clever horses, you can't find a more clever horse and a more grueling horse than Low Light of Fields, in my opinion. I think he's an out and out battler, and he's just got pucks and pucks of ability. Although, look at the ground possibly is going to be against him. I don't really know what the drying ground is going to do for him. You'd hope to see maybe a bit more improvement come from it, but I suppose, look at it, it's a tricky one to call. I just think if there's do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something that I normally don't. I'm going to give you two horses in this one here, because I have a funny feeling Low Light of Fields is going to be taken out tomorrow with the drying ground. And if that's the case, have a small each way on the Trigger at 7-1. If Low Light of Fields gets taken out, that'll mean that this lad is going to go favourite. And like, realistically, if that's the case, then the market's just going to shorten. But I think realistically, if the ground doesn't pose any threat, I think the only thing that will beat Low Light of Fields tomorrow is going to be a bad jump or a mistake or a fall or being hampered, whatever it is. And in my opinion, that's going to be what's going to beat it. But moving on then to the 550, I'm just going on to the 550 because there's something going on with the markets. I don't know what. It's down here. There's 450 and 520 showing up here as races for tomorrow, but they're not on the markets. Whatever it is about it, and they weren't actually on the market for the betting sites as well. Well, for Bet365 they weren't anyway, but just think it's strange. I'm going to avoid them. I just think it's a bit funny. Don't really know what to make of it there. But final race of the day, there's a massive gamble going on this Harvey horse. Beyond Ambitious, been backed in from 20-1 into 9-2. Looking down through the bloodline, six-fold sister of two winners, Brain Power, Jesus. Kaliski, who is a French winner, half sister bumper hurdle winner, Degouche, and the dam was a winner and placed 2 mile 4 hurdle chase out of a bumper to 2 mile 3 mile hurdle chase winner. Obviously, look at David Harvey. He bred it, he owns it, he trains it. Ben, I presume Ben is his son. He rides it, claiming £7 off. I think the money down is very interesting. I don't see too many Harvey horses being as well supported as this one here. I'm going to throw a fiver on. I'm not going to go mad. I think the fact that it's been backed into 20-1 into 9-2, I think you've nothing to lose. Look, at potentially it's going to go off favoured, and potentially a very, very short favourite at that. But look, at for the sake of a fiver, for the sake of whatever you're comfortable betting, don't listen to me anyway. Whatever you're comfortable betting, Jesus, don't go betting what you can't afford. Like, if you're comfortable with €1 or €2, throw that on it. If you're comfortable with a fiver, throw that on it. I wouldn't go any any more than a fiver, to be perfectly honest. I think realistically it's a newcomer here and anything can happen. But judging by the move in the market, is definitely very interesting. But look at, I'm going to leave it there. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. I want to wish you all the very, very best of luck tomorrow if you're going to be having a bet. For those who want to sign up to the Patreon, I know I've been getting plenty of messages there recently. Uh, Possibly why I'm going for 7 in a row, but sure, look at basically what it is we have this sort of a service. Like we get our heads together and we basically come up with the best horses at the best prices in whatever meeting it is. I've gone for 1 in Cheltenham tomorrow. I know Ryan has gone for 2 in Beverly. I think it's Beverly. I'm not 100% sure now. I'll have to come back to you on it. But like realistically, neither of them should be beaten. I think it could be a an Irish race an hour treble tomorrow. And I just think it's going to be a very, very good day. But look at it, it's the cost of it is €10 a month. But with that, you get entered into monthly giveaways, different prizes, different things like that. You get, I suppose, you could say exclusive tips from myself before the episode airs. We well, I gave mine out there earlier on there today. Just say for handiness sakes, for the ones that are working and don't have the time to listen to the video every day, different things like that. It just makes life for them a little bit easier. And we have a staking plan as well. So like no one is going overboard or no one is coming out of a loss. We're at a very, very healthy strike rate. I think profit loss is over 80, I think 85 or 86 points now at this stage for 1 point level stakes. So realistically, if you're betting a tenner a pint, that's about 850, €860 profit back. So look, I'm going to leave it up to yourselves. I leave a link in the description below, and I leave a link in the original post as well on Facebook and Twitter and the likes. But look, very, very best of luck tomorrow, and look, hopefully we're on the back of plenty of winners.